We continue now at the top of Daf Chav Gimel Amud Beis in Meseches Moed Kattan. This is Moed Kattan Daf 23b. The Gemara is saying that there were different practices in Yehuda and in the Galil. Some said Yesh Avelos B'Shabbos, that there is Avelos B'Shabbos. V'hani Amri Ein Avelos B'Shabbos, and the others said that no, there is no Avelos on Shabbos. Tosas over here says B'dvorim shebetzina mayri kedeperish b'kuntris. We're talking here about Avelos in private, as Rashi explains. So again, in one community they had private Avelos on Shabbos, and in the other they did not. And the Gemara now explains. Mando Amar Yesh Avelos B'Shabbos, the one who says that there is Avelos on Shabbos, the Katani Ola, because it says in the Mishnah that Shabbos counts towards the days of Shiva, so it must be there's some Avelos. Mando Amar Ein Avelos B'Shabbos, the one who says that there is no Avelos on Shabbos, the Katani Ein Mafsekes, because it says that Shabbos does not interrupt, it doesn't stop the Shiva. So Yisal Gadaitach Yesh Avelos B'Shabbos. Now, if you think that there is Avelos on Shabbos, Hashta Avelos Nago, if there's Avelos that's being conducted, you're conducting yourself like an Ovel on Shabbos. Afsuka mi boy, do we even need to say that it doesn't interrupt? Of course it doesn't stop the Shiva if you're actually conducting yourself in Avelos on Shabbos as well. So therefore it would be obvious, so it must be there is no Avelos on Shabbos. The Gemara says, well, if there's no Avelos on Shabbos, Katani Ola, but doesn't it say that Ola, it counts towards the days of Shiva? Why is it counting towards the days of Shiva if you're not having any Avelos? And to that the Gemara says, Aidi de Kaboy lemisna seifa einon olim. Since at the end of the Mishnah it talks about the days which don't count towards the Shiva, and it uses the phrase einon olim, so Tana Resha Ola, so that's why by the Resha where it talks about Shabbos, it says it counts towards the days of Shiva, but it doesn't actually mean that you conduct yourself with halachas of Shiva during the Shabbos. It just means that it counts towards the days of Shiva. Well, Laman Damar Yesh Avelos B'Shabbos, and the Gemara says, according to the one who says there is Avelos on Shabbos, Hakatani Eina Mafsekes. Doesn't it say in the Mishnah that it doesn't interrupt? Now again, if there is Avelos on Shabbos, so of course it doesn't interrupt. There's actual Avelos. And so to that, the Gemara says, similarly, Mishum de Kaboy lemisna seifa mafsikin, since at the end of the Mishnah, it talks about the days that do interrupt, that do stop the Shiva. So therefore, Tana Resha Eina Mafsekes. Therefore, the Resha also uses this phrase of Eina Mafsekes, but of course, it is obvious in the Resha, according to this Manda Omar. The Gemara says, Moed Kattan, let us say that it's a machlokas tanoim, whether there's Avelos on Shabbos or not. Misha Meiso Mutal Lefanav, if somebody is deceased relatives in front of him, Ochel B'vayis Acher, he should eat in a different house. Ein lo bayis acher, if he doesn't have a different house, ochel beveis chavero, he should eat in his friend's house. Ein lo beis chavero, if he doesn't have a friend's house, osolo mechitza, asar tvachim, he should build for himself a mechitza that's 10 tvachim high, some kind of a separation. Ein lo davar lasos mechitza, if he doesn't have something to make a mechitza, machzir panav yochel, he should turn away his face and eat. Ve'eno mesav, he doesn't eat while he's leaning. Ve'eno mesav ochel, he doesn't eat while he's leaning. Ve'eno ochel basar, he shouldn't eat meat. Ve'eno shosa yayin, he shouldn't drink wine. Vein mevarech, he shouldn't make a bracha. Vein mezamin, he shouldn't do a zimun. Vein mevarch and olive, and they shouldn't make a bracha. Others shouldn't make a bracha on him. Vein mezamin and olive, and others shouldn't make a zimun, including him. Upater mikriya shema, and this individual is pater from kriya shema. Uminat tefillah, and from tefillah. Uminat tefillin, and from putting on tefillin. Umikol mitzvahs ha'amuras b'Torah, and from all mitzvahs of the Torah. Shabbos, but the Brisa says that on Shabbos, Mesav v'ochel, he can lean and he can eat. V'ochel basar, he can eat meat. V'shosa yayin, he could drink wine. Umevarich, he can bench. Umezamin, he can make a zimun. Umevarchen, umezamin and olive, and others can bench and others can make a zimun using him. V'chayiv b'kriya shema v'tfilo v'tfilin v'chol mitzvahs ha'amuras b'Torah, and he's chayiv in kriya shema and tefillah and tefillin and all mitzvahs in the Torah. Rabbi Gamliel says, mitochshen is chayiv be'elu. Since he's chayiv in this, and he's chayiv b'kul, and he's actually chayiv in everything. What's the difference? Sounds like the same exact opinion. Rabbi Gamliel and the Tanna Kama are saying he's chayiv in everything. The Yomer Rabbi Yochanan, so Rabbi Yochanan says the difference is as follows: Tashmish Hamita Ika Beinav. The difference is whether or not he's chayiv in Tashmish Hamita in terms of relations. And so the Gemara says, "My lab hakamifli." Isn't it true that they're arguing about this exact issue? The Mar Savar Yesh Avelos b'Shabbos. One says that there is Avelos on Shabbos. Umar Savar Ein Avelos b'Shabbos, and the other one says that there's no Avelos on Shabbos. We'll take a look at Rashi over here. Rashi says, Ein mevarech, he doesn't make a bracha. Lahotzi acherim yedei chovasim. This is talking about making a bracha, being motzi others in the bracha. And then again, it also said they're not mevarch in olav, they're not motzi him in the brachas, and they don't include him in a zimun. Mitoch shen eschaya be'elu kriya shema v'chulan eschaya b'kulan. Then it said in the Brisa, since he's chayiv in these, chayiv in everything. And what's the difference between the two Tanoim? Tashmish Hamita, Ika Beinav. The difference is Tashmish Hamita. Hadamar Nischai Bekulan, Savar Mutter B'Tashmish Hamita. The Tana that says he's chayiv in all mitzvahs, that means to say he's even mutter in Tashmish Hamita. The Tanna Kama Savar Asar B'Tashmish Hamita. The Tanna Kama says it's forbidden Tashmish Hamita. Mar do Asar B'Tashmish Savar Yesh Avelos B'Shabbos. The Gemara suggests that the one who says Tashmish is Asar will hold there is Avelos on Shabbos. Umar Deshari Savar Kishmuel Damar Ein Avelus B'Shabbos. The one who permits holds like Shmuel that holds there's no Avelus on Shabbos. The Gemara continues, Mimai, how do you know this is really the case? Dilma Adkan Lo Amar Tanakama Hosam Elamishum Demeso Muta Lefanov. Maybe the Tanakama only says that the Tashmish Hamita is prohibited because the mace is right in front of him. Aval Hachadein Mesa Muta Lefanov Lo, but over here, where the mace is already buried, it's not in front of him, so then it wouldn't be prohibited. V'adkan Lo Kamar Rabbi Gamliel Hasam. You could say the other way. Maybe Rabbi Gamliel only says that the Tashmish Hamita is permitted because when the mace is in front of him, the Avelus hasn't really started yet. The Avelus only starts when the mace is buried. But over here, the Chol Avelus Aleh, where the Avelus has begun, because the mace was already buried, Hachanami, so here also maybe Gamliel would agree that Tashmish Hamita would be prohibited. We'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Chav Daled Amud Aleph.